This is CNA938.
Understand Asia.
Now, Nightlife with Mike Tan.
Good Thursday evening. Thank you so much for joining me on the show. This is Mike here with you, and coming up really soon, just after the news, I'll be speaking with art teacher Sebastian Tan and primary 6 student Jaslyn Tan from Pasir's Primary School to learn more about their featured artwork at the recent Singapore Youth Festival Art Exhibition. And coming up right now, well, this year's Singapore Youth Festival Art Exhibition opened just a couple of days ago at the Stamford Arts Centre. With the theme Artist and Inspiration, the exhibition showcases original creations by primary school students inspired by artworks from local and international artists that will be covered in the revised 2024 Primary Art Teaching and Learning Syllabus. So the exhibition, which showcases selected student artworks, is now open for public viewing till the 30th of July. One of the featured artworks belongs to primary 6 student Jaslyn Tan, supported by her art teacher, Mr. Sebastian Tan from Pasir's Primary School. And I first asked Jaslyn to tell us more about this year's theme, Artist and Inspiration.
The theme for this year's Singapore Youth Festival Art Exhibition is Artist and Inspiration. We were inspired by Singaporean artist Zero's artwork Under the Same Sun. Something unique about Zero's futuristic artwork is that it is street art created in a public space at Kampong Glam.
Very nice. Street art. I always love this because here in Singapore, we have so many different neighborhoods with murals, with artwork that we can see. For, Singaporeans by Singaporeans, right? Sebastian, art teacher at Pasir's Primary School. Okay, so you got to tell us a little bit more about how, the journey went about sort of creating this piece of artwork for the Singapore Youth Festival Art Exhibition.
Hello, Mike. It's really nice to be on air. Yes. So we actually recognize the site-specific nature of this artwork. So as a team, our children actually created an artwork that augments viewers' reality right here at the SYF Art Exhibition. So there are a lot of big words out there like street art, site-specific, and augmented reality.
For sure, because sometimes these words as well, it's like when we first hear of them or see them, we're like, ooh, what does this mean, right? Could it be very abstract? How many interpretations could one have about these sort of different words or themes as well? And, this year's Singapore Youth Festival Arts Exhibition, Sebastian and Jaslyn, you guys were a part of this. Your artwork was featured as part of the exhibition. How did it make you feel? Maybe perhaps we could start with you, Jaslyn. How did it make you feel?
I learned to see art in a new way. Exhibiting our artwork alongside over 190 schools is such an awesome experience. Imagine 500 artworks in one space. It makes me smile seeing so many unique expressions.
So that's lovely, Jaslyn. I gotta say, back when I was in school, not a lot of us took art seriously. Well, at least myself anyway, okay? And all these years later, we see how art has transformed in our schools. The art syllabus is going to take a different form and shape as well. Sebastian, you're an art teacher. Jaslyn, of course, artwork featured in the Singapore Youth Festival. How did it make you feel? What was going through your mind when you knew that your artwork was going to be featured as part of the exhibition?
So indeed, we actually value how our children have a voice and they want to be heard. Imagine how every child is seen, how every child belongs, and each and every child is loved. That's the joy of education. And SYF as a art platform places emphasis on this whole child-centered approach.
Very nice, and I completely agree with that as well, because there's so many different ways in which a student can develop, and we have so many more opportunities now to showcase art, to appreciate art. Jaslyn, do you love art? Well, I think that's a very obvious sort of answer to the question. What inspires you, though, in your artistic journey, and might you want to pursue more down the road?
Yes, I do love art. I was actually inspired by a Singaporean artist, Zero's artwork Under the Same Sun, and I had lots of fun. This SYF experience has kindled a joy for art in me. Through art, I found a way to express myself, and I gained a better understanding of my strengths and weaknesses.
Okay, very nice. Would you happen to have an example of perhaps one strength that you were made aware of in your artistic journey so far?
I think I discovered one of my strengths is digital art and how I drew the planet with multiple colors, and I was very proud of it.
Yeah, see, Jaslyn, I'm so impressed by that digital art in the year 2023 because back when I was in school, it was like watercolors, it was, paint brushes that were peeling off already, it was like, color pencils that were not sharpened properly. Now, these days, we're using digital art. That's so cool. Okay, so Sebastian, you're an art teacher. Could you tell us a little bit more about how digital art has been making its way into your art classes?
Indeed, technological advancements have transformed artistic practices and how students can learn art. But at the core of it is still drawing. So the 2024 syllabus places emphasis on drawing as a visual language to enable students to actually express their ideas and build confidence. So through technology, we enable children to express themselves better.
Yeah, that is wonderful, and I completely agree with that as well. If you could just very quickly tell us as well the states of the art curriculum in this current generation, what would be some of your thoughts and comments about that? And I'm sure you see a very positive sort of outlook for the art curriculum in our schools moving forward.
It's been a joy to see our children express their creativity, in essence, to have their being. And in the 2024 art syllabus, collaboration is key. I'm very fortunate to have good role models in life to learn from artists and fellow art teachers. Art extends beyond the confines of the classroom, and the partnerships with National Art Council, National Gallery Singapore, brings a wholesome perspective to art in Singapore as well.
Oh, that's really well said. And I think that is true across the board as well, in the sense that when you have an encouraging teacher, when you have a conducive classroom environment to pursue what it is that you love, whichever subject it is that resonates with our kids, I think it really does help them go a very, very long way. And plus, like you said, collaborations outside of the classroom is so important as well. Yeah. Sebastian, just one more question. How do you think exhibitions like the Singapore Youth Festival art exhibition help to foster and nurture a love for art in our youths?
That's an interesting question. I think I would like to hear from Jess herself because she's part of the SYF art exhibition. So let's hear how she feels about the whole experience as well.
That's perfect. Tell us more, Jaslyn.
I really also had fun talking to Miss Shirley and like explorers on a journey of imagination. Students have fun creating with art materials and experience joy when learning about art.
Okay, perfect. Joy when learning about art. I think that makes all the difference. And I really do wish that I got a chance to, go through art classes again, because it would be a completely different experience compared to when I had to take art classes back in school. And back in the day, it was just so different. It was more than 20 years ago. So maybe one day I'll pop by Pasir Primary School and hop into Mr. Sebastian Tan's art class. Okay, I think this would be really interesting because again, 20 years ago when I was in school taking art, not a lot of us took it very, very seriously. And there was so much focus on like academia. So art was kind of, pushed to the sidelines. It was seen as one of those filler subjects. This was many years ago. So heartened to see how art has transformed, how our curriculum has taken on sort of new vantage points of like, not just books and textbooks and homework, for example, but there are so many other ways in which we can enrich our students. So if you could tell us right now, what do you think, as an art teacher at Pasir Primary School, what do you think is the value of art in our classrooms these days?
Well, that's an interesting question. How do we actually measure the value of art, if not by the artist's creative process? In an artist process-centered approach, the artist is key. So what's the rationale for art then? In my opinion, is about enabling students' voice, empowering students' choice, and as an art teacher, the weight of how students perceive art is not lost on me. So it's through our daily interactions with students that students learn to appreciate art. Yeah.
No, that's just incredible. And we are so honored to have art teachers like yourself, Sebastian, in our schools. Teachers who inspire and teachers who are accompanying our kids every step of the way. And also to you as well, Jaslyn, right? And congratulations for having your artwork featured in this year's Singapore Youth Festival Arts Exhibition. And thank you both so much for being here on the show with me. This is the Nightlife, and wishing you a very wonderful week ahead, and also much success in your future endeavors. Okay, Jaslyn and Sebastian. All right, you can also find out more about the Singapore Youth Festival Art Exhibition at syf.gov.sg, where you can check out the online gallery as well as the art exhibition e-catalog. Once again, it's open for public viewing at Stamford Arts Centre, and that's located at 155 Waterloo Street at Singapore Youth Festival Art Exhibition.